Hi! How's your weekend? I hope you're doing fine. Okay? So, for this day, we are going to have a continuation of the three triangle congruence postulates. Okay? So, I hope you can still remember those three. Can you give those three congruence postulates? Yes, we have the SAS, ASA, and SSS. Okay? So, let's have a short recap on the three congruence postulates. So, let us have first the SAS. So, what do we mean by SAS? Yes, that is side angle side, wherein if two sides and the included angle of one triangle are congruent respectively to two sides and the included angle of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. Okay, so for our example, let us have this figure. We have here, okay, so use the side angle side congruence postulate. Why? Because we have here the side angle side. And then on the other triangle, we also have the side angle side. Okay? So next, let us have the second one, which is the ASA or angle side angle. Okay? So when we say angle side angle congruence postulate, that is, if two angles and the included side of one triangle are congruent, respectively, to two angles and the included side of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. So for us to have our example, let us have this figure. So as you have seen, we have two marks on the two angles and on the included side. One of the included side, of course. Okay? So we have here angle side angle, and on the other triangle, we also have the angle side angle. So that's why this is an example of ASA congruence postulate. Let's have the third one. We have the side, side, side. Okay? So if three sides of a triangle are congruent respectively to three sides of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. For our example, let us have this figure. So we have here three sides are congruent. This side is congruent to this side. This side AB is congruent to side XY. And then we have here, or side YX rather. Then this side AC is congruent to side XZ. Okay? So that is SSS or side congruence postulate. Okay? So let's have a recap on the included angle also and the included side. So let's have first the included angle. So name the included angle on the first figure. So as you have seen, we have the tick mark here and the tick mark here. So the included angle here will be, yes, that is angle G. How about on the second figure? We have tick mark here and on this side. So the included angle here is angle I is correct. And on the last figure, we have this one on this side and on this side. So the included angle will be correct, angle H. Okay? So let's now have the included side. So name the included side of the first figure. We have here the tick mark on the first angle, angle G, and then angle I. So the included side here will be, yes, side GI or segment GI. On the second figure, we have, yes, markings on angle I and angle H. So therefore, we have here segment, okay, HI. Next, we have here angle G and angle H. So we have here, yes, we have angle or side GH or segment GH. Okay? So to proceed, let us have this question or this slide. Determine whether the following triangles are congruent. If they are, name the triangle congruence. So you are going to pay attention to proper correspondence when naming the triangles. And then identify the theorem or postulate SAS, ASA, or the SSS that supports your conclusion. Okay? Be sure to show any additional congruence markings you use in your reasoning. If the triangles cannot be proven or cannot be proven congruent, state not possible. Then, given the reason, it is not possible. Okay, for number 1, let us have this. Okay, so we have triangle ABD is congruent to what name of the other triangle? Yes, that's correct. We have triangle CBD. By what congruence postulate? What do you think? Yes, you have the SAS. Why? Because we have here the side, angle, side. Because you have to use here the reflexive property that we have discussed in our previous video. Okay? And of course, on the other triangle, we also have side, angle, side here. Okay? Again, by using reflexive property. For number 2, let us have triangle EMN is congruent to what? Yes, they are not congruent. Okay? Why? Because if you are going to notice on the first triangle, we are given side, side, angle. And on the other side, on the other triangle, we also have side, side, angle. So, we have no SSA congruence postulate. So, that's why the two triangles are not congruent. Okay? Next, for number 3, let us have this figure. So, we have here triangle STU is congruent to what? That's correct. We have triangle VXW. By what congruence postulate? So, obviously, that is SSS. So, we have side, side, side. So, side, side, side here. Okay, next. Number 4, we have triangle KJM is congruent to what name of the other triangle? Yes, we have triangle MLK. So, what congruence postulate? That's correct. We have, yes, side, angle, side, or SAS. So, again, by reflexive property. So, we have side, angle, side here. Then, side, angle, side here. Okay, so that's why we have SAS. Okay, how about number 5, the last example? We have triangle STU is congruent to, yes, they are not congruent. Why? Because if we are going to take a look on the figure, we have here the vertical angles. But even they are congruent, we have here the side-side angle. And again, take note that there is no SSA congruence postulate. Okay? So, is there any question? So, let's proceed. So, how about this question? In triangle DEF and triangle LMN, okay, so again, you have two triangles. But it is not stated that the two triangles are congruent because we are going to look for the answer later. You are given that angle D is congruent to angle N. Then, segment DE is congruent to segment NL. And angle E is congruent to angle L. Write a congruence statement. Okay? So, for you to answer this, you are going to draw the two triangles. Okay? So, we will have here triangle DEF. And then, for us to name or to label the second triangle, let us have the conditions given. Okay? So, it is said that angle D is congruent to angle N. So, therefore, you will have here angle N. Then, it is stated that segment DE is congruent to segment NL. So, you will have here L. And then, we have here angle E is congruent to angle L. So, that's why you have there. And then, obviously, you left here with M. So, what will be the congruence statement that you will form? You may have triangle DEF is congruent to what? Yes, to triangle NLM. That's good. Okay? So, by what congruence postulate? Yes, that is by the use of AND. SA. Why? Because we have here angle D is congruent to angle N. Segment DE is congruent to segment NL. And angle E is congruent to angle L. So we have here angle, side, angle. And of course, on the other triangle, angle, side, angle also. Okay, any questions so far? Okay. So how about this question? What other pair of angles needs to be marked so that the two triangles are congruent by ASA? So as you have seen on the first triangle, we have here angle F, which is congruent to angle M on the other triangle. And then we have here segment FD is congruent to segment ML. So again, the question is, what other pair of angles needs to be marked so that the two triangles are congruent by ASA? Okay, so we have here angle side, so we have here to use this angle. And on the other triangle, we have here angle side angle, so that's why we will have to mark with angle D, which is congruent to angle L. Okay, so did you get it? Okay, so let's proceed with this. Okay, so it's time for you to investigate. Okay, so let us apply what you have learned on our review and on our discussion on the last video last week. Okay, so name that postulate when possible. So you will just look on the tick marks given and then you are going to give the postulate. Okay, so let's have first number 1. We have, obviously, we have here this one. So what do you think is the postulate used? Yes, that is SAS is correct. Next, how about number 2 here? We have your markings on angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. So that's why you have here ASA. Okay, so they are congruent. How about number 3? We are going to take a look on our given tick marks. Yes, we have here SSA, but again, you have to take note that there is no SSA. So the two triangles are not congruent. Okay, next, number 4. Obviously, yes, since they are both isosceles triangles, so we have, yes, they are congruent by SSS congruence postulate. Next, number 5. We have tick marks on the 3 angles, so they are AAA. But again, there is no AA congruence postulate, so they are not congruent. Next, number 6. We have, okay, so we have ASA congruence postulate. Number 7, yes, we have SAS congruence postulate. How about number 8? We have SSA, but again, there is no SSA. So the two triangles are not congruent. Next, number 9. Right? So there are only 2 markings or 2 tick marks given. Okay? So you are going to apply the properties that we have discussed on the other video that I have sent to you. So we have here, yes, so we are going to use here the reflexive property for you to say that the two triangles are congruent by what? That's correct. We have the SAS congruence postulate. Next, number 10. Okay, so again, you only have the 2 markings. So we have the side. So what should be the property that you are going to use for you to say that these 2 triangles are congruent? Yes, you are going to use the concept of the vertical angle. So we have the definition that the vertical angles are congruent. So that's why we are going to use that. And the postulate that you have used here is the SAS also. Next, number 11. What markings do you need to add? And what property? Yes, you are going to use the property about the vertical angles again. So that's why you are going to use the SAS is correct. Next, number 12. So as you have seen on the figure, you may use reflexive property. But take a look on the markings. You have given the side side, and angle. Again, take note that there is no SSA congruence postulate. So, they are not congruent. Okay? Next, numbers 13 to 14. What information do you need to prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ADC by SAS? Okay? So, we already have here the first given. Okay? So, the first information that angle ACB, so this one, is congruent, of course, to triangle ACD. So, they are congruent. So, we already have the markings here. So, what will be the other markings that you are going to have here? Okay, so obviously, we have here, yes, okay? So we have here the markings because we can use here reflexive property. So wherein, you may have here, segment AC is congruent to segment AC. Okay, so we already have this angle and then the side. So what will be the other side? That should be congruent so that these two triangles are congruent by SAS. Okay, good. So we have here segment BC is congruent to segment DC is correct. Okay? So it is more correct if you have segment BC and segment DC instead of segment BC and segment CD. Okay? Or if you want to have segment CB, so the other segment should be segment CB. Okay? So again, this is another answer. Okay? Next, number 15. Identify the parts of the triangle needed to be marked to have the following triangle congruent. So we have here the two triangles. So we have triangle BIG and triangle FAT. If you are going to use the SAS congruence postulate, so what will be the part that you are going to have the tick marks, to put the tick marks? Yes, that is angle I is congruent to angle A is correct. For you to have, again, the side angle side. Okay? How about if you are going to use the SSS congruence postulate? What will be the part that you are going to have to put the tick mark? Yes, so that is on this side and on this side. So we will have here segment BG is congruent to segment FT. Okay, question? Okay, next, number 17. So you using these triangles, again, triangle BIG and triangle FAT, but we have the different markings now. Okay? If you are going to prove that these two triangles are congruent by ASA, so what part are you going to put the tick mark, the other tick mark? Since we already have the angle, the side, so we have the angle which is yes. Okay? So we have angle B is congruent to angle F is correct. How about number 18? If we are going to use the SAS congruence postulate. Okay? So if you are going to remove the markings here so that you have a clearer view of what you are going to mark on our triangle. Okay, so again, by using the SAS congruence postulate. So we already have here the side, the angle, and the side needed will be this one, and of course, this one. So we have here segment GI is congruent to segment TA is correct. Okay. And for the last slide, let's have this one. Okay. So we have here, okay, sorry, this one is not included. Okay. Okay, sorry. So we have here, if we are going to prove this by SSS congruence postulate. So we have here, yes, so we are going to have segment OS is congruent to segment OS by using the reflexive property. Is correct. Okay? How about if you are going to have the SAS, congruence postulate? Since we have the markings here, the original markings here, and this on this one. So what should be? So since you already have the two sides, so you should have the, okay, to find for the included angle. And the included angle will be, angle B is congruent to angle Y. Okay? So, that's all for this day. Yeah. Okay? So, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. So, again, if you have questions, so do not hesitate to send me a message. Okay? So, that's all for this day. Bye!